Hey guys, so I thought I would start this video with a little story time. People have asked me to tell my coming out story, and I've never really gone in depth about it on film. So, I was 14. This is 10 years ago. This is so crazy. April, May, June. It'll be 10 years to the day sometime this month. I was a freshman in high school, and I remember I was sitting in chemistry class, second period, and I didn't have the balls to tell my parents face to face. So I remember I texted my mom. That didn't go very well. I didn't get a reply. Give you a little background on myself. I'm a Connecticut native. I live a couple hours outside of New York City. I am the son to two immigrants. My father is from Italy and my mom is from the Philippines. Both were very, they're old school, had religious upbringings, and, tried to instill that in me and my brothers growing up. And that was a little damning, when come time it was for me to come out. So, texted my mom, and no reply. I got home from school that day with, my heart in my ass. And when I saw my mother finally, I could tell she'd been crying and she wanted to talk. So we went, sat down and, talked about it. I talked about how I was feeling and how I had these mixed feelings, and that, I know I was into guys, and she, dropped the Bible on me and, called me a sinner and abomination, essentially. And I remember I ran out the house crying, in just such disbelief that that was how she reacted. I knew it wasn't gonna, come with arms wide open, but I was still really hurt. Thankfully, I had a good support system. I was really close with one of my best friends, who's also straight, so consider him an ally. He and his mom. I remember I ran to his house. And he wasn't there, but his mom was, and she consoled me for a bit, and then she was like, you still gotta talk this out with your mother. So eventually my mom came down and we talked some more, and I feel it didn't really go anywhere right then. It just it was just out there. At least at this point it was out there. And I didn't have to tell my dad. My mom told my dad, and he didn't speak to me for a little bit over a year. Or, when he did, it was only what he needed to say, and just very short. But so it made for a tough mid-teens, you're already angsty and pubescent. So I moved out when I was 17, when I had the first opportunity to, because there was just a bunch of turmoil in the household, and I had to go. And they'd always raised me to be independent and to do things for myself. So I was like, peace. And I did my senior year of high school out of the house. I had my own apartment, living with my boyfriend, and I was working already, and I saw myself through graduation. And being in the workforce already, I told myself I was gonna take a year off school and then get back into it. And then 1 year turned to 3, and I was like, fuck, where's the time going? But yeah, so I'm basically going off on a tangent, but what I'm trying to segue into is I've been looking into a shelter in New York City called the Trinity Place Shelter, and they give refuge to LGBT teens and young men and women who, don't have a home, who have been kicked out of their homes for being who they are. And the Trinity Place is located in New York City. And I've always felt a lot of homage to New York, being living just outside of it. I've always ran away there, so to speak, since I could drive a car. It was one of my favorite places to go. Fortunately for myself, I was never without a home. But if I were to, I think I'd probably go to New York too. And that's what a lot of homeless LGBT teens do, is run away to New York. I remember starting to work in the city when I was 19, 20 or so, and I would, be walking in like Hell's Kitchen or in, Midtown, and see these people my age or younger on the streets, begging for money or food. And I didn't understand why, really. How could someone so young be in such an unfortunate situation already? It didn't make sense to me. It broke my heart. Last year, Jake Jackson and Cocky Boys, we raised over $6,000 in an underwear auction. We auctioned off our underwear, and the proceeds went to helping homeless LGBT youth, and that spoke to me and resounded with me. So I was recently in a contest hosted by GayHotMovies.com, which started as a contest with the incentive that $500 would go to the charity of the winner's choice. I started looking into the aforementioned Trinity Place, and I really fell in love with what they do there. They broke down what your money will do, what each donation goes to, be it food, shelter for a night, a place to sleep, blankets, things of this nature. And looking at the statistics, I was really moved and upset to find out that most LGBT teens will go homeless at 14 and a half, that their parents will turn their back on them and put them on the street. I'm very grateful for the situation that I was able to come into. I was never homeless, but I can't imagine being so helpless with no one wanting to help me, let alone my family, So I'm starting a GoFundMe. There have been a lot of you guys have already donated and given money to the Trinity Place, and I'm so grateful on their behalf. I want to keep this momentum going in that spirit and raise some more money for them, and just give back to our younger brothers and sisters who are less fortunate than ourselves. It can always be worse, but we can help. So I'm going to include the information in the description below of where you can, if you'd like to donate directly or donate to the GoFundMe or whatever. And we'll make it fun. We'll do we'll give away some merchandise, like I'll sign some merch for you guys and posters and stuff. Make sure you keep receipts or like screenshots of any transactions for any amount donated or anything of that nature, so we can keep tabs of who to thank, or if you'd like to remain anonymous, whatever. So That's about it. Thanks for indulging me, and keep your head up.